Like the river Jordan, and I will then say to thee, you are my friend, carry me.
So the main thing is, is getting all the rigging ropes stretched and everything first. Guys, with the cotton rope, is it's cotton, so you need to get it stretched out. So as the cotton gets wet, it'll shrink down and it tightens up as the canoe goes in the water. That's why we wet the rigging every single time we put the canoe in the water, is so that cotton can shrink down. And then also too, whenever you're rigging the canoe, you always want to make sure that the front of your ama is towed in towards the canoe by half an inch. Half an inch or just perfectly straight. The other important thing to remember about rigging the canoes is you always want to make sure that the rigging rope stays dry. Because if it's wet while you're rigging it shrunk.
Okay.
So if the inside the canoe is wet, then the rope stays outside. If the sand is wet, then you keep the inside. If it's raining, then you get a tent or whatever and you figure out a way to get that thing rigged. You always measure from the gunnel, so this face right here, and you measure to the center line of the ama. So these amas are very simple to measure, but ideally what you have happen is whoever's taking your measurements, you want that person that's measuring out on the ama to measure both front and back. Because they're going to measure, they knew how they took their measurement in the back. Okay. They'll measure it the same in the front.
And to get that 1/2 inch difference.
Yes.
Okay.
But most importantly, if you have somebody else that's measuring up front, they may measure from a different point. So if they measure an inch outside, then they're going to be 1.5 inches off. So it's about 70 inches. We do for these canoes just because of we try to rig them for all weather conditions and everything like that, because so many different crews and skill levels use them. We usually go 70 to 71 inches, somewhere right around in there is a pretty safe
Which
number.
is from this
gunnel to the center line, that center line of the ama. That's your distance.
And so, for example, if you're rigging the canoe for racing, where you have a more experienced crew,
you can rig tighter,
so in closer.
Yes, and the reasoning for that is the canoe will be more tippy, but it'll be the canoe is faster that way.
Thank you.
Is to get your start, and you want to come across. You usually have somebody help you pinch down. Now, the other idea too is if you pull too hard this way, you're going to pull the whole line over. So the beginning part is really critical that the two people rigging don't try and pull hardest to get it apart, right? Okay. So usually you don't have to put as much tension on it. Then you usually have somebody just locks down the line there. Another thing a lot of people try and do is they try and grab the very end of the rope to pull it through. If you just go halfway through, half it over, and then you can just slide it right through the hole, and you're pulling less line every time. Then your next part of the rigging, as you come through here, you want to come around underneath the yaku, around it, and then you come back through. You want me to do that again? Yeah. Okay, so as you come through here, you come through your hole of the gunnel, then you come underneath, you wrap around, and you come back through again. And then and as you get to right here, you also, so we're inside a little bit, right there, perfect. Okay, so now we want to kind of pull it tight just a little bit. Now the person holding here can now move and lock here because I've now got pressure on everything. Now I can take this, do the same thing.
So
you half it again.
Right.
Go right through your hole, pull over, and then you can cinch it up, and you make your nice X across here. Now the very important thing is when you're rigging here is to come down across on
the other side,
the opposite side of this knot. If you come here, that's wrong. You got to make sure it stays there. Then you come up, around.
Let it drag into that. You want to come across. So you want to tighten pushing down, correct? Yep.
And then you want to.
There you go.
Make sure you get a nice smooth X across this rope. This is actually what lashes and locks everything together. As this tightens, the rope interlocks itself and creates your nice strong rigging point so that the yaku doesn't move. So So then the same thing will happen again. The person will then lock off here, pull it through. Now this time around you can actually put a nice hard cinch on it because everything's locked in place. The best way to cinch is to always push down with your body weight. If you're pulling up, you're using a lot of your arm strength and it gets you tired, because usually when you're rigging you got to then race or whatever, but like we are today, we're rigging 6 canoes, so you want to push down with your body weight and get that locked down. And then you come back around keeping the pressure on, and then now this person can come out here and lock that down, and then now you've released, now you can release your pressure. Same thing, and then when you come back through on your, now that you're doing your second line, you want to come on the inside of it. So that way, because if not, you're going to start walking out and you'll start moving the knot around.
So you want to walk in actually?
Yeah, you want to walk it in. Same thing, you come across. The other important thing to remember too when you're rigging, right here, just as we're overlapping here, you want to make sure that your lines here are overlapping themselves so that you're alternating between this side and this side. So then you come down.
This way. There. Come up. Inside, 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 outside, outside. Okay.
Same thing. Get a nice little tug. Now the person can come and lock right here. And also now as it gets bigger, it's easier to, if you just take the palm of your hand and just push down. That way you get more pressure on it.
Inside, outside.
Now we can get our nice pull. Okay. Come around. And then we can lock right here now.
No, I'm just scooting.
Like you were my brother, love me like a mother. Will you be there? Tell me, will you hold me? When wrong, will you scold me? When lost, will you find me? But they told me a man should be
Okay, the way we have our lengths of rigging rope is you do, move this hand real quick. You do four ropes is your, how many times you're going around.
Okay, so they're like one behind you right now.
Yeah, so like, here's a perfect example if you want to bring your camera over here. So if I were to take this, see how it doubles it? That's wrong. I need to wait until Bob comes down across, and then my line can come across that. That would be the correct way to do it. As I wait here, now he's come across, now I can come down.
Cinch downwards always.
Now I can come across and get the nice X and lock it, and that what helps locks it all together. So again, getting a nice pull on it. Now we wait. Now we're just going to stand and wait for them to be done, because now we're to the next stage of the rigging.
Okay.
It's very important. Be proud of the rigging of the canoe. Even if you have to back up a little bit and redo something, just redo it.
There we go.
And the other thing when you're rigging, thinking of the canoe, would you go out in rough water in this canoe after you're done rigging it? Would you feel safe to put your family in the canoe and go out? And family is the other canoe club members, and you're also your actual blood family, you know? 'Cause that's the whole thing, you know, as we're rigging these, you gotta make sure that they're safe for everybody.
faithful and walk when not able and fight till the end, but I'm only human.
So now what's going to happen is
This way.
we're going to switch lines now. I'm giving him this side their line, mine, and I'm taking theirs. Now, take them around. You wrap all the way around the yaku and the bottom part of the vai, and you want to make sure that you're wrapping in an outward fashion. Now this. Now this wrap right here, it'll depend on how much pigtail you have left over. This wrap can vary depending on how much pigtail you have. Okay? This one we have kind of a lot, so we're going to do 2 full wraps. And then we'll come in. I'm going to pull in nice so it's wrapping in an outward fashion. Okay, and then over here, you take them again and make a cross. You lock down right here with these two so you can release the pressure. Come back through again. Same thing, cross them again. You want to come back through one more time. Cross one more time, and then you and your partner, you pull at the same time. Get that thing nice and tight. Now that just cinched everything up and got it nice and tight. Now you can come through again. Now what we want to do is a double square knot. So you take your line, you wrap it once, you wrap it twice, then this line comes through here. Bob's going to take this line, you tighten it up. The whole idea is you get, now Bob's going to pull in this direction. Oh, you want to pull
At an angle.
like that. See, I'm pulling like this, he's pulling there. Now we pull in a sawing fashion where, Bob, you pull. And that locks that down. Now this is all tight. Now what you want to do, you want to leave a little bit of length of pigtails because this now becomes your baler holders. So the next stage of locking it down, you come up through here, pull it up so it locks all the way in and pull it tight. Same thing, lock there, pull that tight. Now this can become your baling piece where you pull it up and you leave a little bit of a pigtail, and then that's your baler holder.
Beautiful.
So I'll do the same thing here. Pull it up, get it nice and tight, and that's it.
Yeah, I will be